bake a cherry pie? Billy boy, Billy boy. Can she bake a cherry pie? Chiming Billy. She can bake a cherry pie, quick as a cat can wink her eye. She's a young thing and cannot leave her mother.
Well, Granny, did you pick out your spot yet for the garden?
Yep. I kind of favor a patch right close here to the house.
Oh, I'll plow you up something there directly.
Yeah, just enough for some onions and taters and some rudibakers. And a few rows of corn.
Paul? Morning, Granny. Paul, can I help you with the plowing and the spading?
Well, Ellie, I'd rather you put on one of them pretty dresses that Miss Hathaway got you.
But, Paul, I can plow better in these clothes.
Plowing. You know, Ellie, I'd like you to wear one of them dresses kind of regular. Wouldn't you, Granny?
You're mighty fetching in a dress, Ellie.
Prettier than a tub of fresh churned butter.
Paul, if I go to wearing them dresses, Jethro will make fun of me.
I reckon he hadn't better. Now, you run along and put on something with skirts.
All right, but he hadn't better make fun.
He won't, he won't. You know, speaking of Jethro, I think he's got himself a sweetheart.
The banker's secretary?
That's right. They was out together last night.
What'd they do?
Well, I don't rightly know for sure, but it was something to do with bowls.
All you do with bowls is eat.
Yeah, I reckon that's what it was then. She said she was going to take him bowling.
You know, Jed, I kind of like that Miss Hathaway.
Yeah, I think she kind of likes us, too.
Cousin Ellie, you're a city girl now. Do you think...
see there, Paul? I told you this would happen if I took to wearing these dresses. You call me that again, and I'll turn you every way but loose.
Say nothing but city gal.
Ellie, me, Clampett! You get up from there or you're going across my knee.
And Jethro, you're going across mine.
What did I do that was so all-fired bad? In that dress, she looks just like a city gal.
You did him!
I reckon we better go out there and see she don't hurt him. Jethro, now that we living in the city, you got to learn to use the steps.
You'll be happy to know that I'm making splendid progress with Ellie Mae. She's turning into quite a lady.
Fine. But it's Jed, Granny, and Jethro we've got to work on. Clothes, manners, the works. What have you done about servants?
That's a problem, Chief. They're basically opposed to the whole idea of able-bodied people letting others do their work for them.
Well, that's a refreshing attitude. But we've got to get a skeleton staff in there somehow. A combination butler and valet for Jed and Jethro. To help them assemble a wardrobe, teach them how to... Ravenswood.
Your butler?
Oh, he's never been my butler. Came with my wife like an overweight dowry. Been in her family for years. And with Margaret in Boston, I can certainly spare him, plus her upstairs girl, Marie.
I doubt if you can sell Mr. Clampett on the idea of servants.
Get him on the phone. I'll make him think he's doing me a favor by taking him off my hands for a while.
Right, Chief?
She had not have thrown me down on my head like that. What if I'd have been carrying a frog in my hat?
You ain't supposed to be wearing your hat in the house.
Well, Granny, where's a fella going to carry a frog? They jump out of your pockets.
Hello? Oh, howdy there, Mr. Drysdale. Glad to have you back from Boston. Your missus come with you? Oh, that's too bad.
Well, the reason I called Mr. Clampett is I have a butler. Well, he really belongs to my wife's family, but he's been with us ever since we were married. And I was wondering if you'd let him come and stay with you for a while.
You mean board with us?
Well, I guess you could call it that.
Who's going to board with us?
Just a minute. Some kin of Miss Drysdale named Butler. Why, we be just...
That's that no-good fat rascal that wouldn't let Ellie and me in to help Miss Drysdale when she was sobering up.
Hello? Granny was talking at me, but she's done now.
Oh, no, she ain't.
Just a minute. Granny, let me hear the men out, and then we can talk it over. Yes, sir, Mr. Drysdale. I'm a-listening now.
Well, in addition to Ravenswood, he's the butler, you can also have my wife's upstairs girl, Marie. Margaret may be away for some time, and I have absolutely no use for him.
Well, I sure would like to oblige. Me and Granny will talk it over, and I'll call you.
Oh, thank you. You'll be doing me a great favor.
I was glad to help out when I can.
Thank you again, Mr. Clampett, and goodbye.
Is somebody coming to live with us, Uncle Jed?
Maybe, Jethro, maybe. Well, why don't you go out and make up with your cousin Ellie?
Okay, Uncle Jed.
All right, Jed, let's have it. We gonna board that butler fella?
Well, Mr. Drysdale will take it mighty kindly if we did. He says he ain't got no use for him.
I don't like him myself.
You only met him once?
Once was enough. I asked him real nice. I said, are you a-doing for Miss Drysdale that she's feeling poorly? Are you doing the washing and the scrubbing and the cleaning for her? And he looks right down his nose at me and says, Madam, I am a butler.
I reckon he is proud of his name. Kind of fancy. Ravenswood Butler.
I don't care if it's Stonewall Jackson. And I think Mr. Drysdale has a lot of gall to ask us to take his wife's kinfolks off his hands.
Well, now, I'm mighty beholden to him. You know he's keeping my $25 million in his bank, and he ain't charging me 1 penny to do it.
That's his business. You didn't ask him to do it.
Well, now, Granny, if it was just Mr. Butler, I might agree with you, but there's a sad side to the story, too.
What's that?
Well, you've heard of Mr. Drysdale speak of his stepson? That's his wife's boy by her first marriage?
The one they call Sonny?
Yeah. Well, it seems she's got a girl, too. And there must be something wrong with her.
What?
Well, I don't know, but they keep her upstairs.
No.
Yeah. He spoke of her as my wife's upstairs girl.
The poor thing.
Her name's Marie, and he'd like us to take her and Mr. Butler.
Doggone it, Jed. We got enough to do to take care of this big place without... He didn't say what was ailing her, huh?
Well, no, but if you ask me, they ain't eating right over there.
No.
You know what Mr. Drysdale told me?
What?
His wife ain't never cooked grits and hog jowl.
Ah, go on.
That's a fact. Nor mustard greens and possum belly. Nor pone and squirrel shank. Nor even boiled chicken hawk.
The land of mercy.
You can't hardly blame Mr. Butler for getting a mite cranky. Man don't eat right, he gets that way.
Well, dear, I reckon it won't do no harm to take him in for a spell.
Granny, for such a little woman, you got an awful big heart.
Well, I feel sorry for the poor girl. But the first time that fancy pants Mr. Butler looks down his nose at me, I'm gonna chuck him in the cement pond.
Now, I'm doubling your salaries for the length of time you stay at the Clampett home. But if one word of this gets back to my wife in Boston, you're both out of work with no references.
Actually, you will find the Clampetts to be basically fine people. All they need is a little polish.
Polish. They need sandblasting. However, I think Miss Hathaway's plan may overcome their initial resentment of wearing city clothes.
Yes, I think I have devised rather a clever strategy. To put it briefly and succinctly, my strategy is as follows. I shall propose to the Clampetts that they sit for a family portrait. As you know, my hobby is painting. Now, I should suggest to the Clampetts that their attire match their background, which is, of course, their beautiful mansion. They will no doubt see the logic of my didactic approach, accede to my wishes, don suitable raiment, and, once they have seen themselves thus attired, take...
We're in. Let's go.
We forgot to dust the stair rail.
I'll do it, Granny.
Besides, wearing boys' clothes does come in handy sometimes.
Hi, Ginger Granny. I think we got her all spick and span for the company.
They ain't a speck of dirt no place. Can I go swimming now?
Me too?
As soon as we help Granny clean up the kitchen. Was that music again?
Sure is good. You ever find out where that comes from?
No, Granny. Every single time I commence to looking for it, somebody comes to the door.
Nobody to the door now?
There will be. You'll see.
Doggies, that's nice. Let's all pitch in and see, can we find it?
You're wasting your time. I'm a-telling you. Before you can find it, somebody will come to the door. There, you see? Happens every time.
I remember, Ravenswood. I'm counting on you. Don't fail me.
You have my word, sir. I've been butler and valet since boyhood, as was my father before me and his father before him. And I've yet to meet the man or woman who posed a social problem too difficult for me to handle.
That's the spirit.
Howdy there.
Remember me, Mr. Butler?
No! Ravenswood, come back! You gave your word! Come back, you coward! Come back here! I'll cut off your fringe benefits!
Ravenswood probably forgot something. He'll return shortly. Meanwhile, this is Marie, Mrs. Drysdale's upstairs girl. Marie, J.D. Clampetts,
Howdy.
Jethro Bodine, Ellie Mae Clampett, and Grandma Clampett.
No, ma'am. I am a Moses.
Pardon?
Granny's related on my wife's side. They's the Moses family from Tennessee.
Then your name is Granny Moses? Grandma Moses.
That's right.
There was a very famous Grandma Moses who painted primitives.
I've whitewashed a few myself.
I'll show Marie to her room.
Listen, Marie, honey. Over here, you've got the run of the house. You don't have to hide upstairs. Ain't nothing wrong with that girl, but what some good cooking will cure her. She's half starved.
Poor thing is so weak, her knees keeps a buckling on her.
She's kind of pretty, though, for a skinny girl.
Just wait till she gets a mess of Granny's grits and hog gels. That'll fill her out.
Till I'll get some of cooking. Guess that butler fellow will be coming back directly.
Oh, and Granny, can we have some of that salted down possum belly that Ma sent us?
Well, I reckon it is kind of a company meal.
Granny, open up a jar of them pickled crow gizzards.
Now, Jed, we don't want to spoil these folks. They might get to thinking we eat like that every day.
Baby, will you do something nice for me?
Sure, Paul.
Will you go get into that pretty dress again?
Oh, Paul, Jethro will make fun of me.
No, I won't, Ellie Mae. Cross my heart.
Why,
That's my darling. Thank you. And then you be real nice to Marie. She's had a bad life.
I'll be nice to her. She's pretty.
Let's all be nice.
Now, Ravenswood, your appearances deceive you.
Oh, really,
Oh,
sir?
I do admit on the surface they do seem a bit rough, even cruel. But I assure you underneath they are placid, kindly, and gentle. See?
you shouldn't have called me a city girl.
Ellie Mae, leave me alone, please, Ellie Mae.
City girl.
Mr. Butler, don't never say anything nice to that girl. She'll kill you.
Come back here! Coward! Come back! You promised!
Jan, Ellie throwed me down on my head again. If she don't stop that, I'm gonna get a headache.
Stop riling her, Jethro.
But golly, all I said was she's pretty. That ain't no call to bust a fella's head.
Pardon.
Oh, howdy, Marie.
Hi, Marie.
Are you hungry, darling?
No, madame.
I'm whooping up something here that'll just set your mouth to watering.
Put some strength in your limbs, too.
Tell her what it is, Granny.
A great big mess of grits and hog jowls.
And salted down possum belly.
Oh, pickled crow gizzards. How you like that?
Don't tell me that child ain't hungry. Why, she's ready to drop in her tracks. Set her at the table and I'll dish up a mess.
No, please. I only came in to bring you a message from Miss Hathaway. She's preparing to paint the family portrait, and she wishes to know if you all will sit for her. May I tell her that you will sit for her?
Well, yeah, I reckon we'll do that.
Merci.
Well, let's get at it.
something about Marie.
What?
She's scared of Mr. Butler.
How'd you know?
I asked her to go swimming with me, and she says he wouldn't allow it.
What business is it of his?
That's what I says. And she says he's a butler, and I'm just an upstairs girl. I got to do whatever he said.
We'll see about this. Ah, dingies. Let's hit Mr. Drysdale, find him, and give him a whooping. Oh, catch him, Granny.
Harry, you go put a dress on like you promised.
Uncle Jed, I'm going swimming. If I see him, I'll fetch him in.
Don't go jumping in with your clothes on again.
Oh, I won't, Uncle Jed. Miss Hathaway, she gave me a present last night. She says it's something special for her to go swimming in.
What'd she give you?
Oh, pair of trunks.
You go swimming in the cement pond. Boy, it's too big to go swimming in a trunk.
Ed,
In a pair of them.
I got a feeling that Mr. Butler feller is gonna be trouble.
Yeah, we can handle him.
Well, I still say that I think Mr. Drysdale has a lot of nerve to ask us to board his wife's relations.
Maybe he just fed up. Man can get awful tired of having his wife's kin underfoot all the time. He told me that Butler fella had been living with him ever since they was married. I declare some in-laws latch on to free room and board like leeches. It takes a mule kick to jar 'em loose. You can't hardly blame Mr. Drysdale for trying to get shed of a critter like that.
Is that the way you feel?
You bet it is.
I'll see how fast I can get packed. I'll get out from underfoot just as quick as I can. No, Jeff. I know when I'm not wanted. It don't take no mule kick to get shed of me.
Darnation, Granny, I wasn't talking about you. We couldn't get along without you.
No, Jeff. I'm just a burdensome old woman. No good to nobody. Why don't you throw me down the well? Go ahead, pick me up, carry me out to the well, and throw me in.
Stop talking like that.
Uncle Jed! Uncle Jed, look here! I caught him. Mr. Drysdale, he gave out, but I caught this fat little rascal.
Put him there.
You gonna whip me, Granny?
No, Jethro, I'm going to get thrown down the well. Why don't you throw us both down the well together? We're just no good leeches both.
Mr. Butler, I'm sorry Jethro got mighty rough with you. He don't mean no harm. He's just an overgrown boy. Now, we's all mighty pleasure to have you come and stay with us, and as long as you behave yourself, won't be no trouble. Oh, I'm Jed Clampett.
Sir.
This here's Granny. I reckon you and Jethro done met.
Yeah.
Sir.
Oh, and this here is my daughter, Ellie Mae.
Enchantée, mademoiselle. Vous êtes très belle, très charmant, très ravissant.
Don't you dare use them kind of words to a lady.
What do you say, Granny?
I ain't sure, but it sounded dirty.
If your daughter was pretty and charming, oh, you're so different from all the others. You're like a beautiful city girl.
He had not have said that.
Oh, Marie,
Oui, Miss Jane.
didn't you say the Clampetts had agreed to sit for their portrait?
Oui? They said they would do it.
What is this? I believe it to be self-preservation, madam.
Don't take to the stairs. She'll catch you sure.
I say now, let me go now, really.
Sounds like Ellie got him.
I'm afraid so.
Will somebody please tell me what is transpiring?
Uncle Jed. Ellie throwed him all right, but I caught him before he hit the floor.
So here you are. Well, now, everything seems to be fine. You see, Ravenswood, didn't I tell you the Clampetts were kindly, gentle people?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
we got a litter from Mom.
What's all the commotion?
Ellie says, Jethro says Pearl sent us a litter.
A litter of what?
Did you hear what?
No, but I bet you it's kittens.
Kittens. Pearl's always trying to give away kittens.
Well, there y'all are.
Where's the kittens, Jethro?
What kitten?
Didn't your ma send us some kittens?
Just a minute. Nope, just a letter.
Jethro, how could you think that kittens would... Well, come on, sit down. Let's hear what Pearl's got to say.
Dear son and kinfolk, I take pen in hand to say we are all fine back here. How are you all out there?
Just fine, Pearl.
That's right.
Jethro, I hope you are making good marks in school out there.
Ma thinks I'm going to school.
Are you in the 5th grade like you would be here?
Doggies, Jethro, I clean forgot about putting you in school. We're gonna have to get you started today.
Can I go too?
Well, now, I think Miss Hathaway's got plans to put you in some girls' school.
Can I go too?
Jethro, I just said it was a girls' school.
That's why I want to go. I like girls.
I don't.
Let's get finished with the letter. After that, we'll take care of school.
Your sister, Jethrine, had a narrow escape. A city dude tried to take advantage of her.
What does that mean, Paul?
That's, well, Granny will explain that to you later. Tell us more about the city dude, Jethro.
His name is Jasper He.
Jasper, he.
That's a funny name.
Oh, there's a dot in there. His name is Jasper. He wears patent leather shoes and spats on them.
Don't sound too neat, does he?
He seen your sister at the cabin when I went there to keep an eye on it for Cousin Jed.
I know what Pearl went there to keep an eye on. Mr. Brewster.
Well, now, Granny, Pearl's a widow woman. She got a right to look.
I ain't knocking it. I got my eyes open myself.
At first, I thought the city dude worked for Mr. Brewster, so I drove back out to the cabin to give him a piece of my mind.
I could put a bug in that Mr. Brewster's ear. Look out for feathers.
Feathers?
The more Pearl has her eye on a man, the more feathers she sticks in her hat.
That's right. 3 and 8 came in flowing 2,000 barrels a day. And it looks like the news strike's going to be even better. There's no doubt about it. This is one of the richest pools we've ever hit. Yep, everything from here is good news. Well, not everything. I'll call you back. Mrs. Bodine, this is a pleasant surprise.
Well, thank you. Although you might not think it's so pleasant when you hear what I have to say.
Oh?
One of them oil fellas working for you has made advances to my daughter.
Made advances?
Well, what would you call being picked up and carried off by brute force?
Well, I'd call that making advances. What's his name?
Jasper Depew.
Jasper Depew.
I ain't seen him myself, but from what Jeff Green tells me, he's a pretty slick article.
Well.
Oh, Mr. Brewster, you don't know how hard it is for 2 girls living alone like Jethhrine and me. You see, my son Jethro's in California with Cousin Jed, leaving us no man to protect us. I'm a widow woman, you know. I guess wherever you have 2 unattached girls living alone, there's bound to be trouble. Especially when the girls are the kind that men call lookers.
Did you say his name is Depew?
Jasper Depew. Calls himself Jazzbo. Oh, Jeff Green says he's a flashy dresser and a fancy talker and drives a sporty car. Regular big city dude. I guess Jeff Green's kind of like me when it comes to tall, handsome city fellas. I'm just putty in their hands.
Nope, no one by that name working for OK Oil.
You mind if I look?
Oh, well, no, go right ahead.
I'm bound and determined to find the rascal that trifled with the affections of my sweet, innocent, helpless baby girl.
Ma!
Jeff Green, I thought I told you to stay in the buggy.
I seen Jasper Depew coming.
Here?
Yes'm.
Oh, well, thank goodness we got Mr. Brewster to protect us.
Oh, there he is.
Mr. Brewster throwed his arms around me and helped me in his strong embrace.
What's an embrace, Paul?
Well, that's when folks kind of twine their arms around one another.
You mean like wrestling?
It's sort of like wrestling, except they ain't mad.
It's like wrestling for fun.
I reckon you could say that.
Then we heard a knock on the door, and we knowed it was Jasper He.
Better look for that dot again.
Oh, yeah. We knowed it was Jasper. He was there to get Jethreen. Her beauty had set his heart to burning with flamin' desire.
What's flaming desire, Paul?
Well, Granny will explain that to you later.
Well, I'll try. You're sure counting a heap on my memory.
Read on with your Moore's letter there, Jethro.
Yeah, it's getting good. One city fella's got his arms around Aunt Pearl, and another's waiting at the door to grab Cousin Jethreen.
My only thought was to save my daughter, so I tore loose from Mr. Brewster's embrace. I saw Jethreen heading for the door, so I quick throwed myself betwixt my child and danger. Sweet innocent Jethreen, not knowing better, let that rascal in. He went right to sweet-talking in a voice smoother than fresh churned butter.
Hello again, you great, big, beautiful lump of sugar. I brought you something all the way from Eureka Springs. Genuine orchids growed in a hothouse. And this lovely young girl must be your sister.
I'm her ma.
No.
Yeah.
Well, for Jethreen's beautiful mother, a little gift of genuine French imported perfume all the way from Paris, France.
Oh, well, you had an order. Oh, my goodness. Genuine Paris, France perfume.
Look at that French writing on there. That says, "Ah, d'amour." That means, oh, love.
Ain't he a sport, Ma?
Mr. Jethreen has got herself a steady fella now. He says he is going to ask for her hand someday. I hope he will take the rest of her, too. Ha ha. Give my love to all and be a good boy. I am going out now to mail this letter and get some more feathers for my hat. As ever, your loving mother. Sure nice to hear from Ma.
They're nice here.
Jethro, you and me's got to go right out and find a school and get you to going. Granny, you pack up a nice lunch for Jethro to tote along.
How about a big mess of poke greens and chitlins with some pone and a big pot of sorghum to dip it in?
Fine.
Oh, Granny, it don't have to be that fancy. Some of the other boys here in Beverly Hills might not have it so good. They're going to complain it to their folks.
Let them complain. It ain't gonna hurt none to raise their standard a little.
I'll get the truck up to Jed.
Paul, please let me go with Jethro. I can help him fight if the big kids in the 5th grade goes to picking on him.
I know for sure that Miss Hathaway has got other plans for your schooling.
But with Jethro gone, I won't have nobody to play with.
Oh, yes, you will. I just remembered something. Mr. Drysdale's stepson is coming home for Thanksgiving. And he's going to be living right next door. And you can play with him. Mr. Drysdale gave me some pictures of him. Here's some pictures of Sonny. That's what they call him, Sonny. He's been going to a lot of schools, and you ought to know some real good games to play. Ain't he something?
Yeah, but what?
School, all right. Millicent, Schuyler, and Potts. I reckon them 3 is the teachers.
3 teachers. Must be awful big school.
I'll say.
Well, let's go in there and get you started.
There you are.
May I help you?
Well, reckon maybe you can.
Diana, someone has parked a most disreputable-looking vehicle outside my window.
These gentlemen.
Oh?
Yes? What is it you wish?
Well, I'd like to get my nephew started into school.
Here?
Yeah, here's all right if you got room for a desk and his lunch basket.
My dear man, this is a most exclusive private school. The tuition is quite expensive. Well beyond your means, I'm sure.
Does that mean it costs a lot of money?
That is precisely what it means.
Well, I can pay you if it ain't over 25 million.
25 million?
Yes, ma'am, that's all I got.
Dollars?
Yes, ma'am. In cash? Yes, ma'am.
This is obviously a practical joke perpetrated by one of my envious competitors. What is your name?
Jed Clampett, ma'am, and this here's...
And you expect me to believe that you have $25 million?
Well, no, not on me, ma'am, but my neighbor, Mr. Drysdale, he's keeping it in his bank for me.
Get me Melbourne Drysdale at the Commerce Bank. You see, it just so happens that Mr. Drysdale holds the mortgage on this school, so we are very well acquainted.
Hello. I'd like to speak to Mr.
Now, if you wish to admit that this is a hoax and be on your way, we will forget the entire incident. Otherwise, you may be liable to some sort of action for invasion of private property and impersonating a millionaire.
Mr. Drysdale is coming on the line now.
Thank you. This is your last chance, Mr. Clampett. My next call will be to the police. Very well. Mr. Drysdale, Millicent Schuyler Potts here. Come in, come in, come in, come in.
Thank you, ma'am.
Diana, tea for these gentlemen. Croppett?
Oh, no, ma'am, Clampett.
Tea, Diana. Use the Spode tea set. Well, sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down.
Just the two of us. Ellie Mae and Granny didn't come.
Yes, well, do make yourselves comfortable. Mr. Drysdale's exact words to me were, oh, never mind his exact words. Apparently he values your friendship greatly, and Mr. Drysdale is a very important mortgage. Ma'am. Well, now then, shall we talk about your youngster who's entering our 5th grade? What is his name?
Jethro Bodine.
Bodine? Jethro?
No, ma'am. Jethro Bodine.
We always put the last name first. Now, male, of course.
Yes, ma'am. Just got a letter this morning.
Date of birth?
December the 4th.
Year?
No, ma'am. Back home. We only been here a few weeks.
Perhaps you should answer the questions for our vital statistics. Now, we need to know the complete birth date, which in turn gives us the exact age. Now, we have December 4th, and judging from the fact that your nephew is entering the 5th grade, I would surmise that the year is 51 or 52. Am I correct?
Oh, Jethro ain't near that old.
And in the 5th grade? Why, that's wonderful. Well, perhaps we have a budding genius on our hands. Archie! I'll pour. Oh, Diana, I'd like you to bring me one of our boys' uniforms to show these gentlemen. A 5th grade size. No, on second thought, you'd better make it 3rd grade. He's younger than average. Mrs. Clark. We require that all of our students wear identical uniforms. It makes for less friction that way. Otherwise, the boys of millionaires are apt to be taunted by the really rich.
I bet you Jethro will look right good in a uniform. He can't wait to be a soldier.
Oh, yes, many a young lad is like that. However, our uniforms do not reflect any militaristic design. No, rather, we strive for something gay, attractive, and smart. Oh, there you are. Charming, isn't it? Now, you take this home and have Jethro wear it when he comes to school in the morning.
Wear this?
Afraid Granny will have to make considerable changes in this before it'll fit Jethro.
So tiny?
Yes, ma'am.
And in the 5th grade? Well, the boy must be a genius. Well, you may be very sure that we will bring him out.
Where is this? He'll bust out.
Now then, how do you gentlemen like your tea?
We don't know, ma'am. We ain't tasted it yet.
Oh, you are the fun-loving one, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Granny, here's Jethro's school clothes. You want me to help let him out?
Oh, well, thank you, Ellie, but let's see what has to be done. Maybe they fit him already. That's supposed to be a hat?
I reckon so.
What's that?
Well, Jethro said it stands for POTS.
Pots?
That's the school he's going to. Pot school.
Hell, he'll be learning a good trade. If there's something folks always needs, it's pots.
Jethro can make you some dandy new ones once he catches on to it.
And Sam Hill is supposed to wear that.
Well, Jethro, I reckon.
Jethro couldn't have wore that at 3.
Well, Paul said it'd take some letting out.
Letting out? There ain't enough seams in the whole world to let that out.
How's it going, Granny? Are you getting my uniform already?
Jethro Bodine?
No, Granny. Over to school, it's Bodine Jethro.
Ellie Mae, leave the room. You got no shame running around here in your underpants?
Granny, these ain't underpants. They swimming trunks.
You wrap that towel around you before I cut a switch.
But Granny, Miss Hathaway says...
I don't care who says what. I'll be glad when your ma gets out here to take you in hand and to make you some school clothes. These things ain't never gonna fit.
But Granny, I gotta have these in the morning. It's a rule. All us kids over there's gotta wear these. And that coat, too.
Yeah. I sure wish your ma was here with her sewing machine. Pearl's a whiz at making clothes.
Now that you're going to be keeping company with Jazz Bo Depew, you're going to need some nice clothes.
I like the little fella, Ma.
I'm glad, Jeffrey. But you got to stop picking him up all the time.
He ain't heavy.
That ain't the point. It don't look fitting for a girl to run around carrying a fella.
All right. I won't pick him up anymore. Till we get married.
Why would you pick him up then?
To carry him over the threshold.
You ain't supposed to carry him. He's supposed to carry... No, that's ridiculous. I declare, I don't know how I'm going to keep you in clothes the way you're shooting up. I start a new outfit, and by the time I get it stitched together, you've outgrown it.
My new shoes is already too tight for my feet.
Oh, them feet. If they get any bigger, you're going to have to go outside to turn around.
My feet ain't as big as Jethro's.
Well, of course not. He's a boy. Just think, your brother Jethro's going to school in Beverly Hills, California.
Yeah. I'm homesick for to see him, Ma.
Me too, Jeffrey. I'll bet your rich Uncle Jed has Jethro duded up like one of them actors in movie pictures.
Dang, if Jethro ain't right. Every time that music plays, somebody comes to the door.
Good morning. Surprise! Surprise!
Good morning, Miss Potts.
I decided to come by and drive our diminutive genius to school myself.
What?
Your nephew, Jethro.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Jethro! Come on down here. You got to ride to school. Well, that's mighty nice of you, ma'am.
Oh, tut. I'm going to give the boy my personal special attention. I feel that when one...
Well, howdy there, Miss Potts. You come to take me to school?
You betcha she is. Now, I want you to be a good boy and make good marks so your ma will be proud of you.
This is your nephew?
Ma'am, you met him yesterday, remember? Of course, he does look a mite different in his uniform. Granny had a time getting it to fit, but she done it.
You are in the 5th grade?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Just finished 3 years in the 4th.
But I can't. It's impossible.
Oh, that ain't nothing. He got through the 1st grade in only 2 years.
Under no circumstances can I allow this.
Well, say, here comes Mr. Drysdale. I reckon he's coming to see Jethro off to school.
well, come along, Jethro. But take off. This is the way we go to school. This is the way we go to school.
Here's Jethro's lunch.
Oh, Jethro! You forgot your lunch. Jethro, you share your grits and fat back with Miss Potts today.